one of America's clowns,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Red Skelton.
You're very kind. Thank
Red,
you.
why are you always introduced as one of America's clowns when you are the clown?
Well, I don't actually think so. I consider myself about the second best in the country. There's about 4,000 claiming first place. So it's more fun that way.
You're satisfied with second.
That's right.
Who do you think are some of the great clowns?
The great clowns, one has just passed away, was Bobby Clark. One of the greatest clowns that we have for clown faces is Bert Lahr. Unfortunately, he didn't go away from New York enough, and a lot of the people through the Middle West haven't really got to know him. One of the greatest clowns of all of our time has been Ed Wynn.
Certainly has.
Yes, I think he's wonderful. And I think Milton Berle is a fine clown at certain aspects of his work.
How many years has Red Skelton been clowning?
About 37 now.
Do you feel that you have been a success to yourself?
No. Like people walk up and say, "What's the funniest thing you've ever done?" I say, "I haven't done it yet."
What is your ambition then, Red?
My ambition is just to try and make people laugh and forget their troubles for a few minutes, and that's about my one ambition in life. I don't know what else I'd do. I'd try to sell a car. I'd get arrested for that. And I'd wind up telling them jokes and never sell a car anyhow.
You've made enough money in your life to retire, I'm sure, Red. Do you have any plans of retirement?
No.
How many years can Red Skelton sustain as the number one television comedian in America?
Oh, I don't think I'm number one television comedian.
The public does, though, Red.
Well, I don't
This is
know.
the public's view I'm stating.
Well, I don't think so. I would rather just that no one even thought about it, that they just continue to invite me into their home. I think it's one of the nicest compliments that a performer or anyone could get. I mean, you know how you feel when a relative is going to come over once a week. You say, "Oh, gee, he's coming in again tonight." So when they let you come in on the television, you're actually coming into their home, and it's the same thing. And when you can outdo a relative, boy, you're doing pretty good.
Would your plans for television for this coming season, that is September, October, are the same as what you're doing now?
I think so, yes.
You're going to do the weekly show?
Yes, very weekly. And we're going to do circus spectaculars. We're going to Europe, and we're going to photograph the circuses in Copenhagen, in Rome, and the State Department wants me to go to Russia and do a 2-hour pantomime show. I worked in front of the symphony, the Russian Symphony Orchestra, and we had a great gimmick. I talked into the microphone, and the guy stood off stage, and he listened to what I said, and he talked into a microphone and give my inflections and everything, and they thought I was speaking Russian. They came up afterwards, and it was kind of cute. They gave me little souvenirs. One gave me equivalent to a dime. Another one gave me equivalent to a dollar bill, which was a ruble, they call it. And it hit me so funny because I figured they thought, well, me being a capitalistic country, that's the only thing I would enjoy would be receive some money from them. And they all came up and they started speaking Russian to me, and then I had to explain to them that I didn't speak Russian. But I told them that I had an international language if silence was golden anyhow. And then they asked me if I would come to Russia and do a show for them. They understood the things that I did, and it was a lot of fun. It's a challenge, a great challenge.
One of America's clowns, Mr. Red Skelton, is our special in-person guest this afternoon. Red, who paid you the nicest compliment ever?
Oh, I don't know.
Anything that sticks in your mind?
I don't know. I think when I was born was one of the nicest compliments I've ever had, because everything's been gravy since then. I mean, since that first smack,
Well, your birth was probably one of the nice things that ever happened for the American public, to say the least.
I don't think so. I'm glad I'm a part of the American scene. I want to be. I haven't actually worked at it, but I worked for it, you know.
Do you have a particular philosophy of what you are trying to do on stage and on television? Is there a
Well, one
philosophy?
thing my mother taught me when I was a little boy is to never take life seriously, because you're not going to get out of it alive. You know? So,
And be a clown.
you know, not so much that. My father was a clown. He taught elocution at Valparaiso College. He was a lawyer. He was a master electrician, and when he died, he had a grocery store and owned a lot of property in Indiana. But unfortunately, my mother couldn't read nor write, and the relatives moved in, and they took everything away from her, so she raised 4 boys. And I left home when I was 10 years old, actually because I was hungry. And my mother had told me about my father, And I went to B.F. Keith's in Indianapolis, and I saw this man, and I looked around, and I heard all these people laughing. And just a few minutes before, we were kind of sad because we didn't think we were going to get in to see the show. So I made up my mind right then that I was going to be a clown or a comedian. And then my mother started telling me about my father. He died before I was born. He died in May, and I was born in July. I was the baby of the family. And so like I said, she raised 4 boys, and one of my brothers has passed on. Other 2 brothers, they live in Los Angeles. I never see them. They're very jealous of me. I don't know why. I never.
Are they actually?
Yes, they are. Very much so.
Either in show business?
No, I wanted them to get in show business with me because one played a piano and sang, and they wouldn't go with me. But now they both work. I understand that one of them's at 20th Century Fox, and the other one works at the other studios wherever he can get a job. But they never come around. They never ask for anything. I never see them, and they have it in from my mother too. My mother, one of my brothers, my mother, everything I give her, she turns around and gives to him. So
that's funny.
Yeah.
They feel that you've been too successful, Red, or that they haven't been successful enough.
No, it was a matter of jealousy. It all started on a Thanksgiving day, a week before Thanksgiving, rather. My brother came over and he says to my mother, he says, "What time are we coming over for dinner?" And my mother said, "We're going up to Red's." And so he didn't even give her a chance to tell her that they were all invited. He says, "Oh, we're not good enough for you now, huh?" Well, he wished everything on me, that I'd be in an accident, my face would get all cut up, I couldn't make movies and lose my voice, couldn't talk on radio. And, real horrible. It's a horrible thing. He doesn't even speak to my mother now, We've got a real lovable family, So my only family are the people who sit in the audience, actually. And I've grown to actually love them more than I do my own flesh and blood because I don't know them. Like I say, I left home when I was 10, and in the time they did come to see me, they were actually a form of jealousy, I suppose. I really don't know. It's kind of sad because it's not pleasant to talk about, knowing that you have relatives and that they find somebody that don't like you.
How many weeks are you spending in nightclubs, Red?
I'm only here for 6 days. Then I go to the Chez Paris in Chicago in April, and I'll be there for 16 days. Then I go to the Sands in Las Vegas, and I'll be there for a month in May.
Is this tiring?
No, I get
You're
a
not
big
tired.
kick.
You don't look tired.
No, I don't. If it ever got to be work, I think then I would quit. I think
your health is good.
I think so. I hope so. They haven't found if they found anything. They haven't told me about it yet. They're pretty sneaky, with that stuff.
You've been on the Jack Parr show recently. Can we talk about
I was
Jack
on,
Parr?
yes, Jack Parr. I was on his show. I wanted to go on to repay a compliment that he paid me. I was sick. And as a matter of fact, they take me to the hospital as dead. And a few nights later, I happened to be just awake, and I was in a big oxygen tent. And I could hear the television, and I was watching Jack Parr. And he mentioned the fact that I was in the hospital, and he wished that I would hurry and get well. And it kind of touched me because I didn't know the gentleman. So when he came to California, I called up, and I had someone to call because I don't talk on the phone. I can't hear very well. So they called up, and I asked Jack Parr if we could go on. So we did, and we turned out to be very good friends. We've talked to each other. As a matter of fact, as he went through Los Angeles on his way to Honolulu, he called the house, and we've called 2 or 3 times. He wanted to do a spectacular with myself and Alex King. The 3 of us do a different type of a spectacular than's ever been done before, a special show.
Speaking as a showman, Red, do you think he should have walked off his program?
I think so, yes.
Would you have under similar circumstances?
I don't know. My temperament is a little bit different from his. His type of entertainment, if he comes on earlier in the evening, possibly the audience wouldn't accept him as great as they do now. He has the most intimate part of a person's day. Actually, you watch from the bedroom, or you're in your pajamas when you're watching him. And he has a very tough job, and you can see when he walks away that the show is still interesting, but it hasn't got the same zip about it that it has when he's on there. Yes, I think he's a great showman. I think that he has found it. Good heavens, he doesn't need the money. That's for sure. I mean, he's married the wealthiest woman in the country. The Hershey.
Do you think this will hurt him as a showman?
No, I don't think anything could hurt him because he's on at an hour when people really sympathize with them. Sometimes they will come up. There's a trick in getting what you want in your scripts. For instance, now, like when we were in radio, I had a great writer, Jack Douglas, and he gave me silly things like they're going to tear down the freeway to make room for some old houses, you know. Mm-hmm. I mean, jokes like that, which were just wild. And there would be certain things in there that we'd want to get in because they were funny. But we knew that the censors would say, no, they had a woman at NBC, and she used to ride through my script on a blue pencil, you know. You're like an old witch, you know. Mm-hmm. So what we would do, we'd put a joke in that was pretty rough just before the one that we wanted in and one right after it, you know. So that she said, you can't do that. I said, well, I don't. Oh, you really think so? Well, we'll take that one out. But what about that one? She says, well, that one, you can't, I wouldn't do that either if I were you. I said, well, you're not me, but if that's the way you want it, okay. I said, well, this one's all right. She said, oh, yes, that's the one I wanted in there anyhow.
So by comparison, you got the material in.
So I wasn't the only one to do that. Hope all of us, we used to do that. See if we could trigger. We would wink at each other, you know. They say, yeah, we got it in.
Well, Red, you do have a family of 2,000 people in seats at the La Ronde Room of the Fontainebleau nightly. Well, and I must pay you one compliment. This is the only standing ovation that I have seen in any nightclub in Miami in the 1960 season is the one that I saw this evening. Oh, well,
the last night the audience did the same thing on both shows. And it's quite touching. It's very flattering. It means more than any of these, actually, than the salary that they're paying you, because you feel that you actually have got a message over to them, and they were pleased. And when they pay that kind of money to come into a nightclub, you know, it is
a very high compliment.
Yes, it is.
May I ask this as a closing question, since you have so many friends in this city and every city in the world today? Do you have a message for your Miami friends?
No, just stay healthy and don't argue with each other. Just try to have fun and find what I do each day. I try to find 5 interesting things, 5 funny things, and 5 of the most serious things, and then I write them down before I go to sleep at night. Uh-huh. And I find out that way I'm not prejudiced against people. I try to do what I possibly can for someone else, and I try each day to help people. And even though I've been taken for an awful lot of money by people, I still
hanger-oners and
no, not so much that. They were people who were going to invest my money for me and everything. And I now have a group of people around me that keep this type of people away from me, and they watch every move that's made. And that's why I actually made nightclub appearances to pay back income taxes that these people did not pay. They made out like they paid them, but they didn't. They went down and asked for extensions all the time.
Are you what is known in show business as an easy touch?
I'm a patsy. Mm-hmm. I'm what is known as a sucker.
Anybody ask you for anything?
No, not just anybody. I mean, they can get to me. My wife, I mean, look at her, boy, I'll tell you that.
Can she get to you?
Oh boy. I go to sleep with one eye open, you know. Chick, I may have about $50 or $75 in my pocket, you know, and I wake up the next morning, there's some change there, you know. And she says we shouldn't sleep with the windows open. She gives me all those routines.
Red Skelton, I hope that you will make Miami a regular annual visit.
Thank you very much. You're very kind, and thank you for your time.